Hey everyone, welcome back to Drive It Out. My name is Adam and this is episode 2 of my long-term review on this 2024 Mazda CX-5. Now, on this video, we're going to talk more about the specs, the detailed specs on this particular model. My first episode was kind of an introduction. I drove it around, talked about it with really my first impressions, having just driven it off the lot in those few days, and it had hardly any miles on it. Now I have a full 1,000 miles on this 2024 CX-5, and there are a lot of things I really like about it, and I'm excited to talk about them, but I want to talk specifically about the specs on this vehicle. Now, again, this is a 2024 CX-5 2.5 carbon turbo. That is how they state it on the window sticker, and that is what this car is called. The carbon turbo. Now, the carbon edition you can get in a non-turbo or in the turbo. The carbon edition only offers 2 colors. That is white and this beautiful zircon sand metallic. That's right. In some lights it's tan, in some lights it's green. It's always in between, but it's beautiful, it's deep. I call it kind of a khaki green. I am a big fan of this color the more that I live with it. So now, not only do we have an all Mazda garage, but we have a garage that is full of color, no monochrome colors left in the garage. We have enough of those in this world, right? You know, there's so much of it out there. I always jump at the chance to get a vehicle in a color anytime I can, and I love recommending colors to other people as well. I tell you what, you walk out of a store or somewhere and you have a car in a color, it's a lot easier to spot. I don't know, maybe you're not like me and you don't forget where you park sometimes, but I tell you what, I'm saying all that to say that I really am enjoying this color. It's beautiful, it has that metallic in it, and it just really looks gorgeous. Now, this being a carbon edition, the other things that you can expect here are the black wheels. Now, this is a trim level that was new for 2024, and it was a way to get, it's kind of in between the ultra premium trim level and the base trim level, and the carbon turbo provides a great way to get into the turbo without going all the way up to the premium, and I have been pretty pleased with what we have here. Now, the options on this vehicle MSRPs at $39,900. That was after options and delivery. Now, this only has 4 options on it, and that would be the black lug nuts on the wheels. That was $225. The cargo mat in the back, the floor mat, it's carpet, it's not rubber or anything, just the carpet floor mat for the back, $100. The roof rack up top, the roof rails with the racks across the top, that is a $750 option, and this beautiful paint was a $450 option. So between those options and delivery, $39,900 is what this MSRP is at. Now, I tell you what, my wife and I drove a lot of vehicles from the lineup of Mazda, and this is where we landed. We landed with the CX-5 and we landed with the turbo. Now, you may know, if you are familiar with Mazda's lineup, they also offer the CX-50, which is similar in layout and size, right? It's a little bit bigger, but we ended up going with the CX-5, and I'll tell you why. I very much like the CX-50. I very much like most of the things from Mazda's lineup. But that CX-50, while it did have a little bit more room inside, it also is a little bit shorter in height overall, and it also is a little bit wider. It's like you took a CX-5 and you kind of squished it down just a little bit, and then you made it look more aggressive. That is kind of what a CX-50 is, but I tell you what, I like the way that the CX-5 drives more, and I'll tell you why. The CX-5 still maintains that multi-link rear end suspension that it's always offered, that gives it that little bit of that fun factor to drive, and the CX-50 lacks that. It has a different rear end setup back there and is a little more capable off-road than the CX-5, but not quite as fun to drive on the road. So I felt a lot more body roll in the CX-50 than I did when driving the CX-5, and that is how we ended up here. As I mentioned in the first episode, we went from a Honda Pilot Before that we had CR-Vs, and we've had smaller SUVs before, Acura MDX, Acura RDX, and we kind of just went back to this size because our children are at an age where we don't have big items like strollers and things like that anymore, and we are going to be going on some major road trips coming up. This definitely gets better fuel mileage than that Honda Pilot, but it also brings a little bit of fun back to the people in the driver's seat. The people in the front seat, the parents, we get a little bit more of the fun. So the children have lost a little bit of room in the back, but they're okay. They'll be just fine. They're still small at this point in time, but we're past rear-facing car seats. Don't have to deal with needing all the space in the back for that anymore, and we just have a little bit less stuff in our life, and we are taking advantage. So we are looking forward this summer to going on a trip to Colorado. Love Colorado, lived there for 6 years, but needless to say, we're going to end up on some winding roads, and this is going to be quite a bit more fun to drive than that Pilot would have been on those winding roads. Now, it's no Miata, but in the SUV space, it's kind of like a four-door Miata, right? It's about as close as you're gonna get and still have a crossover SUV like this. So let's go into more of the detailed specs on this particular 2024 CX-5. All right, guys, all of Mazda's CX-5s now come with their iActive all-wheel drive system. It's been that way for a few years. All CX-5s are all-wheel drive. This one here specifically has the 2.5 liter turbo engine. Now, they rate that at 227 horsepower on regular gas, but if you put premium in it, you get 256 horsepower, and it also would take your torque from 310 foot-pounds of torque up to 320. Now, this is mated to a 6-speed transmission. That's an automatic with a sport mode and some paddle shifters up there, and that is a lot of fun. But you obviously have disc brakes all the way around. The front ones happen to be ventilated. You also have traction control and stability control when you're driving this, although I have not yet figured out how to turn the traction control off yet. So more to come on that if I can figure that out. But as far as exterior features, as I mentioned, these beautiful black wheels are 19 inches and they are mated to some all-season tires. They are 225/55 R19s. You do get rain-sensing windshield wipers on this, along with heated power mirrors, and you get this wonderful moonroof. They are calling it with a power rear liftgate, and you get that turbo badge on the liftgate just to let everybody know that you mean business. Now, you do get a 8-way power driver seat. Now, this one also has the power passenger seat, which is a big deal to us. We really like that personally in my household. But you also get not only heated seats, but ventilated seats. I love that. You push the ventilated seat button and you get that cool air coming through your seat. That is very cool. Now, you do get a rear view camera on this trim, but if you go up to the premium or the signature, you get that 360 view. So this one does not have that, and that would have been really nice to have that 360 view. I do like that whenever I drive that. Now, perhaps my favorite feature at the moment is the 10-speaker Bose audio system that comes here in the Carbon Turbo, and that includes a subwoofer in the back of the vehicle. Definitely liking the clarity and the way that this sound system sounds. The warranty that they put behind this vehicle is their 60-month or 60,000-mile powertrain warranty with that 36-month or 36,000-mile new vehicle limited warranty. You do get a tire pressure monitoring system as well, blind spot monitoring, you get lane departure warning system, you get lane keep assist, and those safety features are nice to have. I am getting used to how sensitive they are on this vehicle, but you can adjust that within the system of the car. You can kind of change the sensitivity of that stuff. Every light on the outside of this vehicle is LED. I love it. Headlights, the daytime running lights, the combination tail lights. I'm really digging that. Now, it comes with an automatic high beam control. I haven't decided if I like that yet or not, but I will say it also has the headlights that turn. The headlights will turn with the wheel when you are driving at night. It is a very cool feature. Now, the interior has 4 USB inputs throughout the vehicle, front seat and back seat. You have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Those are wireless in here. It also comes with Mazda connected services. I have downloaded the app, and it shows me a few features here on the app, but we'll talk more about that later in another video, how I feel about that app. But you get this 10.25-inch color display up here, which is nice. We can talk more about that in detail later in accordance with the video we're going to do on controlling the infotainment system, as Mazda has a unique way of doing that with the dial here in the middle of the vehicle. But again, I really like the way that this carbon turbo is optioned and the features that they've chosen to put in here, and you can get nearly everything that you would want in a modern vehicle, at least in my opinion, without going all the way up to the premium or the signature trim. So just for review, this vehicle's MSRP is $37,000 before options and delivery. So the options were $225, $100, $450, $750, which brings you to $38,525 plus the $1,375 for delivery and handling, and the total MSRP on the window sticker is $39,900. Now, guys, this has been episode 2. Thank you so much for watching. I am looking forward to continuing to share with you my impressions on this vehicle as we continue our ownership. So again, we're only 1,000 miles in here. We've had it for about a month, and we're going on some road trips, and I'm really excited to see how this does. But guys, reminding you, I now have an all Mazda garage. I'm getting used to that for the first time. In the past, we've run with 2 or 3 vehicles at a time. Right now, we only have 2. So stand by in the future if we end up with a 3rd vehicle again. We will see. But thanks a lot, guys, for following along in this. I'm going to have another episode coming up before too long where we'll go into detail about a specific feature on this CX-5. And, of course, as I put miles on it, I will continue to let you know how it is doing and how we like how things are going and living with it as a family. Let you know what it's like to live with. You know, you take kids to school, you pick up kids from school with it, you go to the grocery store, you go on road trips, you get out and you drive it for fun, you load people up in it, you load it with stuff. We're going to do all those things, and we're going to let you know exactly how we feel about it. So thanks so much, guys. A reminder, this is Drive It Out, and this is a long-term ownership video, but we do short walk-around reviews at auto shows and other events, and we also do in-depth test drive reviews as well, and car comparisons. Please check those out over on the channel. Thanks so much, guys. I will see you in the next review.